The truth about divorce is it should be the very last thing. But after you've tried every other thing, after you've gone down every other path, the truth about divorce is it should be the very last thing that you do, not the first thing that you jump into. Welcome everyone on this windy day in Houston, Texas. I'm Brian Cody, your digital disciple. So here's what I want you to do. If you know somebody who's going through this, get this video in their hand. If you're going through this right now, sit down because we're going to talk about it. You need to watch this. This is for real life situations, and these are real life solutions. The truth about divorce. This message is for anybody who walked in their door at the beginning of the year and their wife said, "We need to talk, man. I want a divorce. I'm done with this. I can't take it anymore." This message is for somebody who's lived this last year through COVID, being trapped together with somebody who you thought you loved and they thought they loved you, but now y'all are like, maybe divorce is the answer. Maybe we need to get out of this. This is for somebody who's been fighting and struggling and have tried things and they're like, man, I don't know what to do. I feel like we're heading towards something that I don't want. That's who this message is for. What is the truth about divorce? You know what the truth about divorce is? It's scary. Nobody really wants it. And the main truth about divorce is this: divorce should be the last thing that you try. It shouldn't be the first thing on your list after you've exhausted every avenue, after you've talked to every friend, after you've gone to counseling, after you've gone to your church, talked to your Jesus, prayed and fought like you fought to get into this relationship, right? You should fight just as hard to keep it. Divorce should never be the first thing that you jump into. It should be the very last thing that you do. That's the truth about divorce. And we all know some people like this, right? We all know somebody who's going through this. I talk to people on a weekly basis. These brothers call me up. I'm scared, man. I don't know what to do, brother. I don't want this, man. What can I do? And I tell them the same thing. You fight. You fight. Fight like you fought to get that woman. Fight to keep that woman. Fight to keep your family. They're afraid for themselves, for their children, I understand, and for their money, their finances, all of that. But divorce should always be your last resort. So right now, we are literally standing at the crossroads of where so many relationships find themselves. Right behind me is a church. I'm looking right now at a courthouse. You can get married at either one of these places, but most good relationships start off over here and hopefully never end up over there. As a matter of fact, if the foundation of your relationship is here, if God is the foundation of your relationship, then divorce doesn't even enter into the equation. You don't even say that word. It's not something that you go to. I don't care how bad the fight is. I don't care what you're in the middle of. You don't talk about it. You take it over here. You take it to him so you don't have to take it to them. Because once you end up over there, you're going to have so many people in the middle of your relationship that are only in it for themselves. They're going to try to get in between you and your wife or you and your husband. And right here you have somebody who's going to get in the middle of your relationship to make it stronger, to keep it together, that doesn't want you to split up, that puts you together for a reason. And if you have this as your foundation, you won't have to be over here at this place. No one wants to end up over there. God doesn't want you to end up over there. He doesn't want you to take your problems to a lawyer. He wants you to take your problems to him, to Jesus, to the foundation. And if God is the glue that is holding your relationship together, there's not a lawyer on this world that could take it apart. There's not a problem in this world that could pull it apart. But that's what you have to ask yourself. Where did we get away from this so that we ended up with this? In most cases, when relationships go bad, especially speaking as a man, because I can't speak as a woman, but speaking as a man, the very first thing that we say is, and I hear this all the time, it's this woman, man, what is her problem? If she would get her act together, you know who that reminds me of? Adam. When he looked at God and said, "It's this woman that you gave me." Really? She's the problem? Let me ask you this. In order to fix a problem that you're having, the solution to that problem is never going to start with another person. It's always going to start with you. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror as hard as you look at her out of the corner of your eye in the middle of a fight when you're angry? And asked yourself, instead of asking yourself, man, if she would just do this, if she would stop saying that, if she would get off my back about this, maybe you should ask yourself, what can I do? Does she have a point? Is the reason why what she's saying bother me so bad because it's true? Maybe if I started fixing myself and hearing what she's saying, things would get better. Maybe then she would see the turnaround in you. And guess what? Maybe then she'll start getting herself together, right? Maybe she's waiting on you to take the first step. Are you a leader of your house or not? Are you the man of your house or not? Because I've never once seen anybody who considers themselves to be the man of the house to blame their problem on the woman. You're leading, my brother. You. So lead her. Lead her away from this idea of divorce and lead her to the idea of healing, salvation. Let's save this thing. It's worth it. It's worth fighting for. Like I said, you fought for so many things in your life. Maybe she just wants you to fight for her. So ask yourself, is she worth fighting for? You're married to her. I'm guessing she might be. Something put you in that position where you got down on your knee and put that ring on her finger. So fight for it. Start with you. The fight starts with you. That's where it starts. The fight to keep it starts with you. The fight to make it better starts with you. The solution to your problems starts with you. And when you seek him, you can save that relationship, the two of y'all. You seek him first. Ask him for knowledge. What do I do, Jesus? Hit your knees. Say, I'm just a man. Guide me, Father. And when he gives you that answer, then you act on it. Start with you. You want to save your relationship? You want to keep it from divorce? It's up to you, brother. First point is this should be your foundation. Yes, divorce is scary. Life is scary, brother. Life is scary. It's supposed to be, man. Point one, foundation. Jesus has to be. God has got to be at the root of every single thing that you do, right? All right, point number two, your relationship is worth fighting for. You got to fight for it. That's what men do. That's what we do. As a man, you look yourself in the mirror and say, look, am I going to run from this thing or am I going to stand up to it? I'm the leader of this house. I'm going to lead. I'm going to lead us out of this pit. Chances are in a relationship, you had something to do with getting you into this. Now take the role of a man and get yourself out of it. And point number three, divorce should always be the last solution. The minute you get into a fight, you don't throw that word around. That word shouldn't even be in your vocabulary, man. You're a disciple. That's what you do. Disciple your wife, disciple your family, lead yourself out of it. Divorce is not the solution. It's the last thing that you jump to. And I mean the last resort, not the first place you go. Keep those things in mind. And if you know somebody who's going through this right now, get this video in their hands. You had a brother right now that's suffering through this. Say, bro, you got to see this, man. This video was for you. We were talking about it last week, and now this dude just dropped this video. You've got to see this. Get this in your head. Get that filth out of your head. Focus on the Lord. You can get through this. That is the truth about divorce. You can get through it without getting into it. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.